Hey YouTube, Deke here again with Fixn. It's been a minute. I'll give you some updates on life. Has been very busy in a little bit, but I got a little surprise for you today under here. And this flag has got to do that. I like the flag though. So we went to Busco Beach last weekend. I got some video and stuff to release of that. I severely damaged both of my feet because I'm old, fat, and dumb. And then you add, a couple of beers into it. But that's a whole nother story. But we came back, and I've been watching this thing on Marketplace for a little while. And I really figured, like everything else, you watch it too long and it goes away. But when I came back, it was there. The kid gave me a number I liked, and we went for it. So tonight, even with a couple of flat tires, I think we're gonna ride this thing. There's nobody here to supervise me, so I think we're gonna do it. I'm very excited. All right, so what are we looking at? We're looking at a 1981 ARGO ATV. It's 8-wheel drive. These things nowadays go for between $10,000 and $20,000 in running order. This has 8 incredibly bad tires that I think I can just put some inner tubes in and get a lot of life left out of them. It has a 16 horsepower 2-cylinder Kohler engine up front. It runs off of a snowmobile drive system. And then it's got like a transmission out of the rear end of a car, and it just has brakes. So it'll apply all 8 wheels, and then when you hit the brakes, it'll stop 4 wheels at a time, and it's all chain driven all the way front to back. The chains and sprockets are incredibly good shape. The body is in amazing shape. The floor pan, not so much. But this thing has, folks, I'm gonna let you look at it just because it's that unbelievable. It's got 94 hours on it. All the parts are here with the exception of the floor pan covers and the engine hood. Everything else is here. This thing is basically made to sit 2 people up front and 4 people in the back, and you can drive this thing in the water. The hitch comes out the back, so it's got a heck of a pulling station. It comes with a winch on the front, and it comes with a boat block on the back, so you can put a small, like a 5 horsepower outboard motor to get some speed out of it on the water. This thing, it's dirty, but it is absolutely amazing. And if you looked at, they go about 30 to 35 miles an hour top end. But most of the time you can expect an average day of about 10 miles an hour. So if you went 10 miles an hour times 94 hours, oh wow, I'm having a senior moment. Boy, that's crazy. 10 miles an hour, 90 hours is 900 miles. So it's got about 940 miles on it. Virtually nothing. The body still holds water, or holds out water. The whole thing is made so you can pull the 8 wheels, and the metal frame sits inside of a giant bathtub. So I can pull the 8 wheels off, and I still may do that. Pull all 8 wheels and lift the drivetrain out of there and replace those sheet metal pans in the bottom. They don't really do anything, but in the same sense, I don't know yet. I just want to drive it. I love the theory of this thing. I love the theory of this thing. The factory dash is there. I mean, this thing is cool. So, but for tonight, we're going to drive it with some flats and see how the motor runs. And it's just going to be fun. All right, y'all. So what we did was I went and I got my boat tank that I hooked up some other stuff. I got the truck hooked up to the battery. We're gonna give her a little squirt in the carburetor. This is some non-ethanol with a little bit of oil in it. We don't know when this thing was ran last. And then we're gonna pull the choke. And we don't have any fire. All right, there were some wires unhooked. Let's see what happens now. The headlights work. Right now. Wow! had no idea it was going to be that simple. But with 90 hours, you got to bet. All right, hold on. We got to look at this. Because at this point, now you got to drive it. The battery's charging. The hour meter is working. and this thing says, bro, let's hit something. I mixed up all this gas for nothing. We're gonna let it run a minute and warm up. All right, look, y'all. Sometimes you gotta sacrifice your body in the name of science. I'm gonna drive this thing. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't think the transmission's supposed to be spinning like that. So we're either gonna leap and smash into a $100,000 camper. That's not the desired output, by the way. Or it's gonna calm down and act right. But you gotta know. Now you know. Alright, so it's got to be in gear, and we probably just got to wear the rust off the clutches. So I don't know if we should soak them with something, but I did screw up because I still got my work shoes on, and now I got grease on them. That's not going to make me happy tomorrow. Gosh bless it. I don't even know what you just missed. I started it and then I started it in gear, and I was thinking I would play with it for a second and then turn the camera back on. Well, it leaped away and I dove in, and then I went clear across my property, and only one steering side works. The other side might be out of fluid. It was scary, and there was nobody saying, hey, dummy, shut that thing off and get back in the house. Oh my God. Now my back hurts. But this is Deke with Fixn, and we'll get an update on the Argo in a little bit. So we hit the house and dug in with all 8 wheels. I'm hoping it's not worse than it looks. Hey YouTube, Deke here again. So we sold that. I got to put the front brakes on it and get it out the door tomorrow. You haven't seen this. I had some video. One night I got it running and smashed it into the house. That's a whole nother topic, but I just pulled off the spacer kit, and we're gonna sandblast all the rims and paint them, and then we're gonna put these brand new tires back. See these things, man? They are brand new. All right, they ain't holding no air, but I have tubes for all of them. So you grease up the inner tubes, put them in there, and then you can ride it for a little bit because the tires are really expensive. So we're gonna do that. But this thing has these spacer kits on it that in all the Argo sites I'm on, these are for the tracks and they're super expensive. And mine has all that, it just didn't come with the tracks. So, I mean, we are gonna get this bad boy rolling. This weekend we're just trying to get wheels on it. And then we're gonna fix the one brake. And then we wanna like go out and ride it, like legit ride it. And then we'll worry about tires and covers and all of that stuff. But this thing, it's got 90 hours on it. It runs like it's brand new. It's just sat outside most of its life, and that's horrible too. But folks, whew, we're gonna get there. All right, so what are we doing today? We got the new tow rig out. We're just trying to run the motor a little and feel it out. So I thought I'd get her to pull something good and heavy. We pulled the wheels off the Argo, and we're gonna get them looked at, see if we can't get them to hold air with some tubes. And I took the spacers off. When this thing has tracks on it, there's a 4-inch spacer that goes on here that makes it so that the wheels stick out 4 more inches for the tracks. But I pulled all of that off, so when I put it back on there, the wheels will essentially be 8 inches closer together overall, and hopefully that'll make it fit on a trailer a little better. But I just want to drive it a little bit before I go and invest in some new wheels. You know, there's a lot of other little things that got to get done to this thing before she's going to be trustworthy. But the motor runs exceptional. The transmission doesn't make any noise. We'll still change the fluids and all of that. But I got a really bad feeling that we have to pull the motor all the way out of this thing to change the oil. And I'm not super confident about that. But that's kind of where we are. We just need to get it out of the garage for a couple of days so that I can work on a couple other things. And there's the trusty tow rig. Hey everybody, Deke here from Fixn again. Today we're on the Argo for a couple of minutes. We're working on the tires. So you can see I got 4 of them in the back of the truck. I got 3 of them already de-rimmed. Let me get in there. And then, sorry about that. So I got 3 of them de-rimmed. A couple of them are a little thin and they're rusty. But I think we can save all the rims. Just making a mess. I got 4 left to de-rim. So far the tubes all seem savable. Most of the tires are shot. Look at all the garbage that was inside of them. A couple of them had giant rocks in them because there's holes tore in the side of the tire. I kind of think we're gonna have to put tires on it and not try to save these tires. But I took the spacers off of it. The spacer kit's right here. And when we put her back together, we'll just, put the stock wheels back on it and we'll drive it a little bit. In other developments with this thing, I recently found the brake parts. So that's a pretty good thing. But for today, we're making a mess with tires. I just want to try and get them de-rimmed so that I can start cleaning up these and painting them. That's why I went in there I did 1 wheel already. And it was a lot of dang work. I guess that light didn't help a whole lot, but it's got a tube in it and 3 PSI. Now the goal was to patch all the tubes and put it back together with all of them at 3 PSI so that I could ride it once, and then I'll just go buy 8 new tires and give them to the next guy and be like, look, here's the tires, you can fix them, or you can ride them on these for a while.
Whoa, hey, Duke, get down from there.
He's on the throttle.
Duke, stop.
He's taking the ATV. Go, go.
All units, be advised. We have a dog on an ATV heading west on Maple.
Okay, so here we are. So I got, 4 rims left. I got 3 on the pile. I got 1 clean one, 1 drying, and I have 2 done. Now, something you don't get to see is I already rimmed that one. And we bought 8 new wheels right there to put on this bad boy. So we got to clean up that, make it look like that, and then rim and tube them. All right, the rims, you know, folks, I don't want to kid you. I mean, them bad boys are pretty juicy. So we're just gonna knock the chunks off of all of these. This is actually a car buffing grinder. It's got a dial on it. Because like when I was working on this yellow trailer, all right, with the 10,000 RPM buffer, when it would bite into something, the buffer would fly across the wall and make dents in the garage door. Sometimes it would bounce off the ceiling. So that was always bad. So this one, and I have one of these that is the full size 10,000 with a giant handle like that, and you can still barely hold on to it when it bites into something. So we bought this one. We tuned her down to 4, and we're just knocking the chunks off. But we're gonna get there, and then we hope to be driving this thing within a day or 2. So totally messy, cleaned up messy, painted messy, almost ready to reinstall messy. Okay, so here we are. We got 2 more done. That one's cleaned but not painted. We have 2 rims left to knock the junk off of. And we have 3 rims on the bike. So it's literally been a whole afternoon of cleaning up junk. Okay, we're down to the last wheel. Now, you can see there's 2 grease zerks, if I can get in there just right. There's one on the end and one on the top on all 8 wheels. So I did all 8, and this side's all back together. Now, a couple of the wheels didn't go all the way back out tight to the rim, but I'm thinking the road vibration the first time I drive this thing will probably beat them all back up. They're all about 5 PSI. And I'm really digging it. So give me a couple minutes. I gotta rim this last one. And I gotta tell you folks, if it wasn't for my bad language, I'd video more of these, but holy crap. Now this was the only bad rim, and you always saved your most troubled one for last in case you learned something. But you see, that one, the hole is ate up a little bit. So I grabbed a giant washer and I put a brand new tube on this one. And I think that's gonna get us where we need to go. Okay, so tonight, again, we were hoping to take this thing for a drive again today, but we failed. So we only have brakes on the left side. Now, I've taken the master cylinder apart on the right side several times, cleaned everything out of it. The gaskets all look good, it don't leak. So I had my vacuum bleeder here sucking through. You can see I pulled right fair amount of liquid through there, and I couldn't even get, I had fully relaxed the brake shoes. Well, I couldn't push enough fluid to even tighten them up. So then I pulled another tank of fluid through it, and then I disconnected it from the master cylinder and shot it with some air, and it snapped them bad boys right closed. So I'm pretty sure that the caliper is good. It's just that I'm just not getting any action out of the master cylinder. The master cylinder, the ARGO master cylinder for this is discontinued. But Willwood is a major brake company. Well, it turns out they put this exact same master cylinder. I did all the homework for the math to see that it's exactly the same dimensions, and they used it on some other stuff. The rebuild kit for that, which looks exactly like the guts for this thing, is $35. Basically, you're getting the plunger, the spring, and 2 washers, 2 O-rings. And neither one of my O-rings look bad, and if I buy it and it don't work, well, then you're out 35 bucks. Or you just drop the 75 bucks and get the whole master cylinder to start. But then what if that don't work? Then you're out 75 bucks. Because we have bled and bled and bled and bled, and we are just not pushing any fluid. And I mean, we've sucked a lot of fluid through there. So that's what's troubling us today. Okay, so I didn't really show you guys some of this because there's a couple of really good videos about it online. But I took the intake off to get the carburetor apart. When I got the brakes working the other night, I was so excited. I took it out to ride it, and it would only idle. Sometimes it would rev up a little, but it just wasn't there. I basically backed up a little hill right here, and I sucked something into the carburetor, and we were done. So I just pulled the bowl off, and I just finished cleaning it all out. But it was full of, like, it wasn't dirt, it was like little larvas or something. But regardless, they're all cleaned out. I was able to blow through all of the jets. You can see light through the main jet there. I blew through all of my fuel accesses. So now we've got a totally cleaned out carburetor, and all the paint was gone off of the intake. So because everything is red in there and it's got yellow wheels, you definitely have to have a Chrysler blue intake. That way when people look at this thing, they say quality. So we're going to give that a couple minutes to dry, and then I think we're going to reassemble it. We're going to ride this bad boy tonight. I can feel it. All right, so folks, oh my God, does this thing run better. And now it revs up to 10,000 RPM, probably more than it should. But now I need a better throttle release spring because it don't idle all the way back down. When you rev it up, it takes a while, and then you got to go in and manually touch it down. So we got to look at that and see what we can do to make an adjustment to it. But I mean, now we've got brakes and we've got motor and we got a winch, but it's not wired up yet. I can't solder, and I'm looking for something to cobble in there just so that I can run it in and out a couple of times and say that I got a winch, because I'm that excited. All right, world, so where are we at? So we just took this thing out for a ride, and wow, Mikey likes it. So it's got 7 brand new wheels on it, and then that second one from the front there is one of the old ones that I recycled, but I'm going to change that out tomorrow. We got the winch on there. The winch control only works in one direction. I don't know if that's the way it was designed. I have no idea, but it's wired up right now so that it only pulls in, pull that red knob, and it pulls out. But we got a 2,000-pound winch. We cleaned all the crap out of the carburetor, and now the motor runs amazing. We did brakes. Now we have amazing brakes. So there we are on this bad boy. I'm gonna video some tomorrow of riding it around, but tonight I gotta go put it in my cargo trailer. But I am super stoked at the advancement that we made today with this thing.